This is a great sour glass, but have you seen the one Audrey Saunders made? She worked on it with Cocktail Kingdom and only took them 3 years to perfect it. It shouldn't even surprise you that she got into glassware. I mean, think about your Nick and Nora's. Sure, and it's Dale DeGroff who brought the glass back into production, but it's Audrey's use of it across these New York City hotspots that really made it the literal toast of the town. Let me guess. All you know about her is the Pegu Club, maybe the Old Cuban. Let me tell you about the libation goddess, one of the few women at the epicenter of the craft cocktail renaissance. This is a tale of unions, amateur historians, and zombie bottles. Audrey didn't come to the world of cocktails until she was in her 30s. Like most fledgling bartenders, she knew a guy, and that got her a job at Pete's Waterfront Ale House in Brooklyn. After a brief campaign to dissuade her from her new career failed, her manager let her know about a cocktail seminar taught by the cocktail king himself, Dale DeGroff. Hooked and ambitious, she approached Dale at the end of the seminar and offered to work for him for free. She really wanted to learn all she could from him. And learn she did. She couldn't work at Dale's Rainbow Room because of its union, but she could work charity events with him. Over the course of 4 years, she perfected garnishes, borrowed Dale's out-of-print cocktail books, and sought the perfect margarita during her alehouse shifts. In 1999, Dale brought her into the short-lived Blackbird bar. After 7 months in an accelerator-like environment, she moved to Blackbird's sister restaurant, The Beacon. This is where she created the Gin Mule and started work on what's now known as the Old Cuban. Within a year at The Beacon, it was clear she was a rising star. She turned down a sommelier job to lead the bar program at Tonic, a bar in Chelsea. Unfortunately, the year was 2001, and nightlife near the World Trade Center dried up. In short order, Dale recommended her for the task of turning around the sleepy Bemelman's bar inside the Carlisle Hotel. They had a union too, so she couldn't actually make cocktails. Met with industry veterans who pushed back against her time-consuming methods, she slowly charmed them, while taking on most, if not all, of the prep work. And you better believe, Bemelman's became a destination. A gentle facelift and rejuvenated bar menu brought new life into the decades-old establishment. The Old Cuban got its official debut, and thanks to the Carlisle Sister Hotel in London, this modern classic went international. After only a few years there, she got to open her own bar, where co-founders included a fellow protege of Dale's, Julie Reiner. Don't derail me, I can't get into her now. We'll be here all night. Anyway, the bar is the Pegu Club, and it was an institution. Audrey was part of a class of bartenders who were bringing classics back in a culinary way. In the early days of the Pegu Club, she was the largest consumer of chartreuse, bringing it back from the brink of obscurity. Starting with Rittenhouse Rye, Audrey and Dale led the Rye Revolution in America. Most importantly, to me anyway, she made people start taking gin seriously. The 90s were all about vodka and big cocktail glasses. Audrey launched a 21st century bar with Little Nick and Nora's and 23 bottles of gin. They had a few bottles of vodka, but they kept them on the rail, not the shelf. To calm patrons about their smaller portion sizes, she brought back the sidecar and chilled mini carafes. She was a pioneer of aromatics on top of egg white cocktails, and she used anything from regular bitters to her liquid spice rack. No detail was too small. Luxardo cherries feel ubiquitous now, but when Pegu opened, bars stocked griots. Audrey scored less than 24 Luxardo jars from a gourmet grocery store. You remember Dean and DeLuca's, right? Anyway, we're talking regular little jars that you and I can buy. They were such a hit, she was immediately connected with an importer for the wholesale tins. I mean, from Punta Mez to Campari, classics were making a comeback. Naturally, she has proteges of her own. 2 years after the first pour, Pegu's opening bartenders had all left, many to start their own hit bars, like Jim Meehan's Speakeasy, Please Don't Tell, otherwise called PDT. Audrey kept innovating and teaching on the side, cementing her legacy. Unfortunately, Pegu Club closed in 2020 after a 15-year run. There was some talk of her starting a bartending school, but it seems like she's enjoying retirement. I think she's earned it, don't you? Cheers. This episode is brought to you by water. It's delicious, you need it to live, and for whatever reason, Nestle seems to own a lot of it. Clink responsibly.